I have a warning up here. It says don't make abrupt moves or the vehicle might tip over, so I better be good. This episode is about the best driver's modifications you can make. So this is not going to help those who are truck owners and want to learn how to roll coal, because I don't know how to do that. This is not going to help those who are looking to modify their car for the sake of straight up appearance. So if you're one of those people that just wants to take some double-sided tape and put on splitters and side skirts and 10-foot spoilers, you can just turn this off. But if you want to make your car go faster, technically, and you want to have a better driving experience, that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so number one, the biggest and best modification you can make to your existing car, or one that you're going to buy, is nothing. Don't fucking touch it. Don't add on anything, okay? Unless, and I'm going to say this, if you've autocrossed and you've been to a track or you've been karting and you ended up being in the top 30. So if there's 100 drivers at an event and you wind up being 30 or better, then you could talk about changing things on your car. But if you've never had that achievement level, don't touch anything. Number two, and no, I'm not talking about replacing your driver's seat with a toilet chair, because that's not optimal for dookies. I've tried that in the past. No, this is something a little less obvious. If you're somebody that's already living a healthy lifestyle, or you're in shape and you're active, then you've already achieved number two, okay? You don't have to pay attention to this, just do something. But if you're not in good shape, you eat horribly, you're 150 pounds overweight, you have bad habits like picking your nose and eating your own boogers, or breaking into a nursing home in the middle of the night and stealing old people's blankets and watches, no, you want to stop that. Because professional athletes and just people in athletics in general will tell you that in better shape you are, the better reaction time you have. And behind the wheel, reaction time and staying ahead of your vehicle is everything. So figure out a plan, get your ass in shape, get healthy, and then let's move on to number three.
It's called Organic Fuel. It's a recovery shake with 26 grams of the protein that bros love, but none of the synthetic junk. Just tell a bro it has a ton of protein, and he'll pound the shit out of it.
So how about number three? Well, let's talk about it. And this is actually the most important step of all. That should be number one, but it's not. Let's say you are flat broke, okay? Whether you have, child support payments for 5 kids, or you're 16 to 20 and you can't afford a new car or a project car and you have to take a junker and you want to modify it. Now, from what I'm understanding recently is most 16 to 20-year-olds now are millionaires if you just work hard, so that may not apply to you either. But if you're struggling, you have other priorities, but you still enjoy cars, you want to modify them, well, here's the best recommendation I can make, and this is from experience. That is to take anywhere from $200 to whatever amount, $5,000 that you were going to piss away installing worthless parts on your car that will probably come off when you sell it. Take that and find an outdoor karting track that offers lessons or a driving school for 3 hours a day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever you can afford. Or take it to an indoor karting track to do league nights where you race against people that are very competent and fast, okay? The third thing would be to take an autocrossing driving school. That would be my third recommendation. But the first two, critically, is doing karting lessons. Because out of anything you're ever gonna do, any type of driver training, this will be transformative. I've never done anything in my life that has improved my driver skill in such a short amount of time as it's been for karting. And the best thing about it is you have virtually no investment when you're doing their schools. They provide the karting, they experience the track. All you need is your safety gear. Get a good helmet, spend some money in there, get yourself some gloves so your hands don't turn into blisters, and just drive the piss out of those things and learn how to control a kart. And what you take away from that will take you into that next level behind the wheel of any type of car you're going to get into, from low performance Nerf cars to high performance, very high horsepower cars. It's just do it, okay? Just think about it at the very least. So the moral of the story, the last part of this I'm going to draw from experience. In my early 20s, I struggled to survive. And when I was able to get to a point where I could afford a car, I bought a Civic. And everybody knows that is one of the most highest performance vehicles you could ever buy. And in my wisdom back in the day, I thought, you know what, I am going to modify this car and I'm going to make it fast and I'm going to be badass, and that's exactly what I did. I put a 3-inch Gretty exhaust on it, on a 120 horsepower car, and an intake and a header, and the car wound up being slower than it was stock. But needless to say, I thought I was amazing. So I decided I was going to take that turd to an autocross. Not just any autocross, a local club that had plenty of national drivers, a few national champions, and I just figured, you know, I'm gonna smoke these fools. I got there and I sucked a bag of dicks so hard. Not only was I in pretty much last place out of 120 plus drivers, I realized just how much of a poser I was. Total douchebag, you know, Fast and the Furious loser, whatever you want to call it. What's the point of modifying your car if you can't drive it? That's kind of the way that I look at it. And from then on, it changed my perspective. And it took me, well, I spent a good 5-6 years in autocross and then, of course, track days improving. But nothing developed me as a driver as fast as karting did. I would say 5 years of autocross is equivalent to about 6 months in a kart. So just take that for what it's worth. And I'm not plugging anything. I'm not plugging a cart, any place, any car, any modification. It's all on you. So, you know, think it over. You know, tell me what you think. You know, what are you doing? What's important to you as a driver?